Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the OPI Celebration Collection for Holiday 2021. This collection was sent to me from HP Beauty Bar. I do have a 20% off discount code you can use. It's here on the screen as well as in the description. In the description, I will link the HP Beauty Bar site and Instagram. I will link the OPI site and Instagram, and then I'll link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So we do have 15 polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with their holographic shades, and first up we have Paint the Tinseltown Red, and this is a bright cherry red linear hollow. It doesn't look super hollow underneath my lighting, but in the sunlight you'll be able to see that it is super holographic, as well as these next 5 polishes. So here's our first coat of Paint the Tinseltown Red. This one is fully opaque here on this first coat. I am going to show you 2 coats today. Even if something covers completely in one, I'm going to show you 2 just for like consistency's sake. But the formula on this was amazing to work with. Very buttery smooth, no running, pulling, staining, no complaints whatsoever. This will be more holographic when it's dry than when it's wet, and it's also not as holographic as it is in the bottle. You will want top coat. It does dry dull and removal is easy, so there are 2 coats. Up next we have Mylar Dreams, and this one is a berry leaning linear hollow. Here's our first coat of Mylar Dreams. Again, another 1 coater. Again, a very amazing formula to work with. I have 0 complaints. These aren't too thick, these aren't too thin. They're just very pleasant to use. Very beginner friendly. Again, I'm showing you what 2 coats looks like today. You will want top coat. It is going to dry on the dull side. Nothing will dry textured or be difficult to remove, and it'll be more hollow when it's dry. So there are 2 coats. Up next we have Ready, Fete, Go, and this one is a teal linear hollow. Here's our first coat of Ready, Fete, Go, and this one I would also say is a 1 coater, but it's really riding the edge of needing that second coat regardless. I am going to show you the 2 coats today. The formula is again very smooth and easy to work with. I do think after a couple uses this will thicken up to be a 100% 1 coater. Again, you will want top coat. It is going to dry a little bit dull and removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Ready, Fete, Go. Up next we have LED Marquee, and this one is a bright ocean blue linear hollow. Here's our first coat of LED Marquee. This one is a little bit more sheer than the other hollows that we've looked at so far. Pretty solid 2 coater here. I'm not complaining whatsoever. That is very typical of hollow polishes in my experience anyway. Again, another amazing formula to work with. Again, it'll dry hollow, more hollow than when it's wet, and again, I do still recommend going in for top coat. It will help accentuate the hollow that's in here as well. So there are 2 coats of LED Marquee. Up next we have My Color Wheel is Spinning, and this one is a grape purple linear hollow. Here's our first coat of My Color Wheel is Spinning. This is another one that is pretty solidly a 2 coater. You'll see as I do my next coat, it does make a difference in the ultimate color finish. So I do recommend going in for those 2 coats if you want what's in the bottle on your nails. Formula is again amazing to work with, very buttery smooth, no application issues, will dry dull, will dry more hollow than when it's wet. So there are 2 coats of My Color Wheel Spinning. Next up we have Turn Bright After Sunset, and this one is a black linear hollow. Here's our first coat of Turn Bright After Sunset. This is another one that is a solid 2 coater for me. So I do have half of the hollows being pretty solid 2 coaters and the other half being pretty solid 1 coaters. Again, amazing formula, no complaints. These will all dry more hollow than when they are wet. A top coat will help that holographic stand out to its full potential, and most definitely more so in the sun. Nothing in this is going to dry textured or give you any trouble upon removal. So there's 2 coats of Turn Bright After Sunset. Up next we have Maraschino Cheer-y, and this one is a deeper but bright red jelly. Here's our first coat of Maraschino Cheer-y. This one is definitely a jelly polish. It does have the squishy-like consistency to it that is a jelly, so I would definitely say go in for 2 coats of this one. However, it is a pretty opaque jelly, so I wouldn't recommend it for, say, a jelly sandwich or anything of that sort, a pond manicure. This is going to dry nice and glossy all on its own, and I also didn't personally experience any staining. So there are 2 coats of Maraschino Cheer-y. Up next we have Big Bow Energy, and this one is a fuchsia pink cream. Here's our first coat of Big Bow Energy. This is virtually a 1-coater for me. I am again going to show you what 2 coats looks like on my nails today, but if I was in a rush, in a pinch, and had to put something on and go, I would absolutely happily wear this one in 1 coat, no problems. This is going to dry relatively glossy all on its own. I do recommend top coat just to protect your manicure and all your hard work that you put into those manicures. And obviously nothing will be difficult to remove, so there are 2 coats. Up next we have Ring in the Blue Year, and this is a bright cobalt blue cream. Here's our first coat of Ring in the Blue Year. Again, very opaque here on this first coat. Not quite a 1-coater on this one, but very, very opaque. Another smooth, easy to work with formula. I did have some extra oil left over on my nails, so that's why you see this separation. It really didn't affect my second coat though, so I wasn't going to refilm this one. Again, a nice plump glossy finish on this one, and I didn't personally experience any staining. So there are 2 coats. Next up we have All Is Berry and Bright, and this one is a dusty, darker blue cream. Here's our first coat of All Is Berry and Bright. This one is relatively opaque here on this first coat, just not even, so I am going to show you what 2 coats looks like today. Again, I did have some leftover cuticle oil on my hands. That didn't affect my second coat application, so I did leave this in. Another smooth, easy to work with formula, another 2-coater, another nice plump glossy finish, and another polish I was not personally victimized by staining. So there are 2 coats of All Is Berry and Bright. Up next we have OPI Heart To Party, and this one is a vampy purple cream. Here's our first coat of OPI Heart To Party. This one is a little bit patchy here on this first coat. This is one that I feel I have seen OPI do this exact same color just a little bit better. So I wasn't super thrilled with this one, but I also wasn't like extremely disappointed either. The formula on this was good. I'm stopping at 2 coats today, but in my swatch photo I did do 3 coats. It has a lot to do with the ridges in my nails though, so if you don't have that problem, you won't have that issue. Just kidding, I actually did do 3 coats. I wrote on my notes that I did 2 and then 3 for my photo, but here is that 3rd coat, which I do think is absolutely needed. So there's OPI Heart To Party. Up next we have Snow Day in LA, and this one is a white with a very subtle silver shimmer. Here's our first coat of Snow Day in LA. I saw this in the bottle and was a little bit underwhelmed with it, and then I got it on my nails, and I think this is a beautiful winter polish. I've never been the hugest fan of pearl polishes, but something about this, and maybe it's just moving to Florida this last year and I haven't seen snow in like 2 years, but something about this polish is really glistening and beautiful. I did have some brush strokes through this as it was wet. Those did mostly go away as it dried. And again, I have these ridges in my nails, so this is one that did take 3 coats. This is going to dry glossy and removal will be easy. So there are 3 coats of Snow Day in LA. And these last 3 are glitters, and this one is Cheers to Many Years, and this one is a clear base with these holographic larger glitters. This one also has black and peachy leaning glitter. Here's our first coat of Cheers to Many Years. I'm going to show you what 2 coats of this looks like on its own, and then I'm going to show you 1 coat of it over Maraschino Cheer-y. Formula is good, no complaints whatsoever. You could sponge this on for more opacity, though I don't think either way you'd get full opacity. This is a glitter, so it is going to dry with some texture. You will want a thicker glitter-eating glossy top coat to finish this off, and since this is a glitter, it is going to be on the difficult side to remove. All of these glitters are relatively large though, so it is pretty easy to manipulate them to get them to where you want them to go across the nail to kind of give whatever effect you're going for. So there's 1 and 2 coats. Next we have You Had Me At Confetti, and this one is a clear base glitter with just an absolute rainbow. I see red, yellow, blue, green, holographic, and then in a couple different sizes. They're larger hex and then smaller hex as well. Here's our first coat of You Had Me At Confetti. This one does have more of a glitter payoff than the last one did. Again, I'm going to show you 2 coats of this on its own because I'm really liking the naked nail look with just a hint of something over it lately, and then I'm going to show you 1 coat over Snow Day in LA. I do really like this one both ways. I usually have a preference when I do glitters like this, if I like it on its own more or if I like it as a topper more, but I really don't have a preference. I really love this one both ways. So there are 1 and 3 coats. And lastly for today we have Confetti Ready, and this one is another clear base glitter with, I see holographic glitter, I see an assortment of colors, but mostly in the blue, purple, and pink category. And here's our first coat of Confetti Ready. Just like the other 2 glitters, I'm going to show you 2 coats of this all on its own, but then I'm going to layer 1 coat of this over Ring in the Blue Year. The formula on this was excellent. This is definitely my favorite of the glitters. I love the combination of the big glitters and the small glitters. Very easy to work with and easy to spread out across the nail, and I didn't have to fish for these larger glitters either. That being said, I do really like this one on its own. I do prefer it that way, but it is really beautiful as a topper as well. Just like the last 2, this is glitter, so it is going to dry textured and it is going to take more scrubbing to remove, especially if you build it up. So there's 1 and 2 coats. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.